of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. This week, I get to interview Caroline Scott, Director of Partner and Retail Marketing with Lenovo. Hi, Caroline. It's so
Hey,
great to see you.
it's good to see you too.
Yeah, so I can't wait to dive into a conversation with you. So let's start off with the icebreaker questions. Where do you live and where did you grow up, if that's different?
Well, it's actually the same. So I was born and raised in Austin, Texas, and I lived here with my family now.
I love that. That is somewhere I would really like to go to. I didn't really make it over there when we were in San Antonio. So I've
Yeah.
heard wonderful things about Austin.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Well, what is a little known fact or a fun fact about you that you're willing to share with us?
So okay, so I will give you a personal one. My husband and I, when we were dating, we met through friends. So a girlfriend of mine from high school met a guy friend of his from high school. And while we were dating, he was telling his mother about me. And he said, her name is Caroline Teal. Teal was my maiden name. And he said, I've met this girl, Caroline Teal. And she's like, Teal. We know some Teals. We know some Teals, like back from when we lived in Oklahoma. And come find out, kind of once we started doing all the kind of investigation of it, it turned out that my great great aunt and uncle were good friends with his grandmother. No joke. And we have pictures of them back in the early 1900s, Oklahoma and Sapulpa at the state fair, if you can believe that. So we've got those pictures up on our wall. So we kind of joke about how we feel like it was probably just meant to be, based on all of.
Yeah, I've got the chills and I'm like imagining these pictures and I'm thinking, destined to come full circle. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
I love how you guys have the pictures up too. That's very cool.
yeah. Crazy. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive in to more professional world questions, in which honestly today personal and professional cross, right? So some of these questions might actually be intertwined in your life outside of work and work. So let's start off with, have you ever questioned your abilities and qualifications? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Absolutely. I think probably every single one of us has over time. I think for me, probably I've learned to give myself some grace to learn. I think there isn't the reality or the realization that not any one person has come into a job knowing how to do all of it ever, right? And if it looks like it, they're faking it.
Yes,
I think
100.
that is not real. So I think, personally, when I take on a new role or a new opportunity, really giving myself the grace to stop and learn and understand, whether that's from listening to conversations, listening to my team and understanding, their perspectives. I think really that is the approach for me, right? Taking the opportunity to kind of to learn. And I think the other piece of that is that kind of, if you think about like that squeamish feeling that you get, right? Of, I don't
Mhm.
know, can I do this or can I not do this? It really, to me, I've kind of learned to accept that as kind of a signal for, hey, I'm learning and I'm growing. And that's actually kind of a cool thing. The discomfort in its own way is actually a good sign, right? If you think
Yeah.
of it that way.
Oh,
So
I couldn't agree with you more. And I love that you're saying this out loud because people can't, they need to hear it over and over again as a reminder that, yes, that period is that uncomfortableness is definitely growth. So I love that you said that. So, Caroline, how do you continue to grow and develop as a leader?
yeah, and and I would say something similar, like that interest and need to learn. I think
Mhm.
the industry that we're in is so dynamic, right? You almost have to, right? It is what are the upcoming trends? How is the business changing? How are our customers changing? How are our partners changing? How do we kind of stay with that and stay ahead of that where we can? So it's a matter of kind of learning from, all of the folks that you work with, learning from, the industry experts that we have, and kind of really taking a look and making sure that you're doing that with kind of an open mind, right? So that you can continue to kind of enrich, how you approach things and how you see things and how you kind of help move the business forward.
I love that you said approach it with an open mind, because after many, 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 years of experience, we get very comfortable in the way that we're doing things. So sometimes that shift of having an open mind to, like, maybe the way it was being done was good, but then you've got these fresh perspectives and new ideas coming in on maybe some innovative ways to do things going forward, and just being open to learn that. I know for me, I learned so much from my daughters.
Oh, really?
So much.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's one of my favorite questions. And it's, how do you protect and create that work life balance or harmony for you? Because I always get new tips and tricks from people.
Yeah, I think it can be really easy to kind of get into to allow those kinds of lines between the two to get pretty blurry.
Hmm.
I think to kind of manage that, you've got to set your boundaries, right? Here's when I am going to be at work and I'm going to be present and I am here for all of it, right? And then there are going to be times when you pivot and that's going to be your time with your family or your friends or away from work, whatever that looks like, right? I kind of joke with my team, when vacations come along, and it's a commitment that I've made with each of my teams that I've led over time, please do not call me unless your hair is on fire. But if your hair is on fire, please call me, right? Like that is the agreement, the handshake that we make, but we're serious about it, right? And
Yeah.
we allow each other to kind of go and be away and take the time and recharge and do all the things, right, that we need to do to be able to come back and then kind of be ready for work and take it head on. Like I think separating those two things is really, really important to making both of them successful. Right.
Yes, beautifully said. And I love your analogy, because your team probably really appreciates their ability to disconnect and allow you to disconnect. Because, like
Yeah.
you said, we
Important.
need that.
Yeah.
We need that, definitely, especially in this industry and how fast paced and everything's going. We need those breaks.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you so much for allowing us to celebrate you this week, Caroline, and for your insights. I know that the community is going to appreciate them because they resonated with me, and I am sure they will resonate with others.
Well, thank you for having me. It was great to see you again.
Yes, you too. I look forward to our next discussion. Until then, community members, please comment, give Caroline your high fives, share your insights, because the conversations were not meant to end here. So until next time, have a fantastic week.